Well, Darren, it's been a great couple of weeks. Are you surprised by how quickly your new group of players have all clicked together?
I suppose, yeah, in a way it can be difficult to bed them all in, especially in January, because you've got to hit the ground running. But they're just good players, they really are. And what they've given us is a real upbeat and energy, the running stats. And they just want to run, they want to play, they're good technical players. Added to that, obviously, we got some players back from injury, so that both coming together has made a difference. But I have to praise all the players in terms of the squad of players, because they've upped the ante in terms of even training sessions. The youth, the reserves played last week 8-0. One or two players that are not in the squad trained Saturday morning. Very, very good attitude. So I said that to them this morning. We're going to need them all, but their standards have definitely gone up.
Yeah, it's great to have that momentum right through the club. And when you look back at the 5 matches, it is quite incredible to think that, in all honesty, really none of them have been that close. You could point to Rotherham being 2-1, but even then, if you were watching the game, it never really seemed that close. The way in which you've managed to get the goals and dominate has just been brilliant.
Yeah, it's been very good. I've been delighted with the players. I can't ask any more than what they're doing at the moment. And Saturday was a different type of game in the sense that once I wasn't happy with the start of the game. I thought we were a little bit lacking in that intensity that's brought us a bit of joy. But once them scored, we just upped it, and we went that way and they went that way, and it was just at 2-0. I was thinking we're very comfortable. The sending off, fortunately, didn't make too much of a difference, apart from obviously they dominated the ball a lot more. But in terms of our counter-attacking, our organisation, I was absolutely delighted with it. They didn't really cause us any problems.
And ordinarily, after 5 straight wins, particularly against the level of opponents that you've had, I guess we'd be talking about complacency. But again, with the nature of the performances, there hasn't really been any hint of that. Your players have been on it for the whole 90 minutes, which is so hard to do.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I spoke to them this morning, and I think it's really about continuing the standards that we've set. Continuing, I keep going on about it, but it is very important. The fact that we're running a lot more than we were. Not that we were lazy before, but the upsurge of energy has really helped us, and that's probably given us the best chance of winning games. And at the moment, we're obviously doing that. But I spoke to them and warned them that tomorrow's game is a very dangerous one, and that all the expectations will be on us to win. But we've just got to make sure it's up to us now. And quite honestly, I think we needed to do this because the league's so tight, and it will continue to be. So we've got to make sure that we continue this run as long as we can, really.
With the energy levels, does it help that the players are being richly rewarded, if you like, for the work that they're putting in, because everything's working so well? They know that if they run hard, things will happen.
I think that's the key. Absolutely, that's the recipe for the success that they're getting, and the players now know that. They're looking good, they're looking fit, they're looking very strong physically. So at this stage of the season, with 13 games to go, that's very, very important. And it's a big week. We knew it, because we want to get as many points this week as we can, because obviously teams that have got games in hand will catch up with us while we're off. But we can only do what we're doing, and at the moment we're doing it well. Yeah,
and I suppose there's no real point in hiding from it. You've got a fantastic opportunity. The players in the starting 11 have shown what they can do. The quality of players on the bench we've spoken about, so the squad depth appears to be there. You've got the momentum. It's a great opportunity to go and make it happen.
Yeah, and that's all it is at the moment. And we've got to, once you get these sort of opportunities, try and take them. But yeah, we've certainly put ourselves in the mix. We're scoring goals. We're looking like scoring goals again. We've got another clean sheet on Saturday. So everything at the moment is going as well as it could be. I still think there's more in them. And again, we'll have to get to those standards to win tomorrow night. It's irrelevant of who we're playing with in the league. We have to maintain our own standards, and that's really the message that they've already got.
Yeah, and as you say, different sort of challenge with Southend tomorrow. But if you can go out there once again and get the early goal and really take control early on, I guess that has to be the aim, and it should make the night a bit easier if you can do that.
Yeah, but every game can be difficult, and I think a good thing for me to get over to the players is they've shown that they will win games if they do what they're doing, and we've showed that, and we can be. That's not being arrogant, but that's been confident because of the manner of how we've won games, and also the opposition. You know, after 2/3 of the season, everyone deserves to be where they are. And, you know, to beat Rotherham, I agree with you. When you watch the game back, we were quite comfortable. Ipswich, Wycombe, and now Oxford. In between that, a very good professional performance at Accrington, which is probably what we're going to need tomorrow night as well.
With Frankie Kent, I think you feared the worst really at the weekend. Have you got any further news on that?
No, he's getting a scan tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. The touch wood is we've got scope to be a little bit more optimistic. You just never know with these. He's just opened his leg up when he's played a pass. But the swelling's not much. There's not much swelling in there. I didn't get that. Sorry, there's not much swelling in there, which is good. That's always a good sign. But we won't know for definite until tomorrow, and hopefully the scan just shows that perhaps it's a little bit of ligament damage.
Yeah, and presumably a good way to view it with both Niall Mason and Rhys Bennett having come in at the weekend and done really well. I presume you'll be thinking, not necessarily with tomorrow night, but even moving forward, don't take any risks. And you've got the 2-week break as well. Yeah, we have to get through this week, and obviously we know Tom misses one game, that's all, through suspension, and then we'll know more about Frankie tomorrow. But I feel we've got good options either side of Beeves anyway. You've just mentioned Benno, Mason. Thought they both did well when he came on. Mason played most of the game, did very well. You've got Blake Tracy now, who will be back in the squad. You've got Josh Knight that could play there. So I feel we have got good options. Yeah, and of course it's so important, isn't it, that say you have Mason and Bennett come into the starting 11, to have Blake Tracy or whoever it might be on the bench as another option means that you've still got that depth. Yeah, absolutely, and that's important that we have that, and that's why I don't just look, although it is the most important thing, the results for the first team. I've been looking carefully at the rest of the squad, how they've trained, how they performed in the game last week. And there's very positive signs in that as well, because I know I'm going to need all the squad. You know, it's very rare for a manager to be able to pick the same team for 5 games, and unfortunately we can't do that again because of an injury and a suspension. But I always knew that I would have to utilise the squad, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah, and of course you'd always rather be coming from this position of strength where you're happy with the options and obviously happy with the form as well. Yeah, delighted with them. We're on a good run, and but we've got to maintain it. We can't get complacent, which we won't, and we have to look at ways of how much more I can get out of these players. But they're all fully aware that it's a big league for us. Yeah, and for Nathan Thompson, I suppose he can use it as an opportunity, in that we've been talking about coming back into the side, having been out for a while, so have the game off, stay positive, and then get back involved. Well, you hope so, because if you'd have played again tomorrow night and then play Saturday, I think you're looking at that 7 games in about 3 weeks. It's a lot for someone who's been out. So, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world that he misses his game. It would have been a bad thing if it had affected the result on Saturday, but I've got others that can come in, and maybe just freshening him up a little bit might help.